It's hard when they've been frozen and defrosted to know like what's a post-mortem change and what isn't. Yep. And then you open them up and you can just slowly, bit by bit, go all the way across the body. Then we can expose all the organs and have a look at them. So snakes have ribs all the way along their body, hundreds of them. All snakes are the same. All their organs have become elongated to have them with this long sort of body shape. So they all have the same organs, they're just stretched out and paced along. The other difference that they have is their spleen and pancreas is spleen, gallbladder and pancreas, which is here. They all sit together in what's called a triad, and they sit together. Whereas most other animals, even these guys, they're a separate organ. So his gallbladder was with his liver, his pancreas, his spleen are tiny little organs that are in a different spot in the abdomen. Whereas snakes that's all combined in the one spot, which is different. You can sometimes pull the organs out as well of a snake. But we'll start at the top and go through. Just trying to fold it all open. So snakes only have one main lung and a residual lung. So I've got a mind blank. I think it's the right one, that's the big one, and the left is the residual one. And they haven't.
Is there any reason for that?
Evolution.
Grave evolution.
Yep. And they have an air sac, so they have a true lung, which is vascular, similar to, well not similar, but similar to like a lizard lung, but very different to ours when it comes down to the microscopic structure. And then they've got an air sac that goes about 3/4 the length of their body that they inflate, and that's when they puff themselves up. And that's how they can sort of hold air inside their respiratory system for a long period of time. They have a trachea, just like we do, but their one is different, where the rings are solid all the way around. Our trachea and the trachea of mammals have cartilaginous rings that are in like a C shape, and they've got like a membrane down the bottom, so it's flexible. But snakes is solid all the way around, and one of the reasons for that is it allows them to eat really big meals, and their airways stays patent while they're eating something really big, so it doesn't get squashed because it stays circular. And then their heart is usually about 1/4 to 1/3 along the length of their body, is usually the heart. And if you guys have a really calm pet snake at home, if you put your fingers in underneath their belly, around about that point, you can feel their heartbeat. Yeah, most people haven't, but you can do it when they're awake. Yeah, but your snake has to be quite calm and not moving too much and relaxed, which sometimes they do that. So everything's all a bit inflamed in him, Tom. So we have a heart here. This is the lung. The lung's a little bit red and inflamed, and it goes into the air sac. I can show you what it looks like inside it. It was. So it's all really inflamed. It should be more of a lighter pinker colour. The heart looks normal. The heart again sits inside this little sac called the pericardium. And then you've got a 3-chambered heart. Unlike ours, a 4-chambered. The only reptile that has a 4-chambered heart like a mammal is, anyone know? Crocs?
Oh. Oh, yeah.
What are the 3 chambers?
1 ventricle, 2 atrium. And so the blood from the left and right side of the body mix interchangeably, but it sort of goes into the direction it wants with blood pressure changes in it. So they've got a really long liver. It doesn't have multiple lobes like a lizard and like mammals. They've got one big long lobe with a big blood vessel that runs through the middle. And then they have a stomach, plain simple stomach. That's just sort of oval shape that fits in. At the end of the stomach is where we find the pancreas, gallbladder and spleen little triad that I was talking about before. And because we want the pancreas to be right between the junction of the stomach and the small intestine, because the pancreas releases enzymes into the small intestine to allow for digestion to happen. And then we have a simple, small intestinal tract. And like in lizards, how it's all curled around, and like in mammals, when you look at mammals' intestinal system, it's all lots of it. Theirs is really short and compact, and it's not actually convoluted at all. It's really like pretty much straight. And it goes straight into their colon down here. So we know that reptiles don't urinate like mammals do, so they still produce urates and urine, and it goes and sits into the cloaca and goes back into the colon, and that's where it absorbs all the water and why it comes out at the same time as they defecate. And these funny structures on each side, they've got one here and one here, they're like lobulated, they're the kidneys, and they sit on each side of the body a bit further up, not right down the bottom like lizards do. And most snakes have the same sort of anatomy, the same sort of structure, everything's sort of elongated in the same way. There are some variations between species of where the heart is, whether it's sort of 25% or 30% down the body, but most of the rest of the structures are the same. And this one, just trying to look to see if it was a girl or boy, but hard to say. Oh yeah, here's a girl. So right here, because this was only young, so not sexually mature yet. This structure here, this really fine little structure there with little bumps on it, is the ovary with little follicles starting to develop. But they can be like that for years until they become sexually mature. Oh, how old are red bellies when they become sexually mature? I wouldn't know. So is it based on size or age?
Well, I think it's more based on size, but a couple of years, 2
Can
to
they
3
breed at this
years.
size?
That'd be borderline. I think it's probably still a
another
bit too
couple
small.
more years, yeah. Any questions? You just ask away, ask whatever you like.
Where's the venom glands?
In the salivary glands.
Oh,
so
so-
venom glands are modified salivary glands.
Yep.
Yeah. And so they sort of sit there on the top of the head. And then, yeah, that's, I don't know how that guy ever took them out. Don't want to know.
So did that also die from overheating?
I'm not sure. It ate a